Howdy, folks. I'm Colonel Sanders, and you're not. Welcome to the live. I'll need some assistance from my followers here to tell me how the audio actually is, because my microphone's been acting weird. But we're continuing the Funko Fusion game. We are in short form. Turn my phone down. I like to open it up on my phone. It's easier for me to see your comments. All right, we'll change that to there. Do this to here. There we go. And test the add button. It works. One viewer. Hello, whoever you are. We have a goal set up. I'll do an extra live tonight, a game of your choice if I own the game. I own thousands of games, but I might not own all the ones that you want me to play. But go through a list, and if we reach the goal that we have, whoever has the most votes, I guess, on the game, I'll play a game of the viewer's choice. I have GameCube, Xbox, everything that's on the Switch and that has a Nintendo 64 kind of stuff on it. The Wii, the PlayStation 5, I think I said the Xbox, the Game Boy, PlayStation 2, the Atari. I got everything. And we also spun off a channel for short clips only, gaming short clips, and it's called the Colonel's Clips. And that is, I believe you can find the link in my community post, and you can find the link in the community post to the Kentucky Fried History page, which is just history. It won't have any of the debunking rumors, me addressing rumors, addressing misinformation, addressing the impersonators, addressing people pretending to be related, the recipe, all that crap will not be included on the Kentucky Fried History YouTube page. It's a test page to see if what people are suggesting will work by me putting just the key points of the history on the Kentucky Fried History page. That probably won't get too many updates on it because once I talk about the history, you can't create more history that's already been made, if that makes sense. So the key points will be on that page and that page only, but they're also on this page, which is why I don't see the point of splitting it up on different pages if all the content's going to be on this page as well, my main. But people have suggested to split it up to see what people do. So those accounts exist, but we're posting on this one. Does Hot Wheels KFC collab ever? I don't know, Lester. That's a good question. I don't know if they ever have, but I would be on board with that. I do like Hot Wheels. We used to stream and record a lot of Hot Wheels Unleashed. We did a couple of the new one. We don't like the new one as much as we like the first Unleashed game, but I do have a few videos on this page about that. But I would like a team up with Kentucky Fried Chicken and Hot Wheels if that hasn't happened. That'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be pretty cool to do. Let's jump into this. How's Lester, since you're commenting, how is the audio? How's my microphone? I've been having some microphone issues the last few nights of recording and streaming. I love KFC too. I just don't love all the choices that they make corporate wise. Some have been good, and a few franchisees have been bad this year. But actually, I should say one franchisee, in my opinion, has been bad this year. But I've been to some pretty good ones. I've been trying to advocate for those ones to be known more, for people to try them more instead of having the memory of the bad ones. But I don't like that they're moving to Texas. I know it's for tax benefits, but it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, not Texas Fried Chicken. I know how my uncle felt when they moved headquarters to Tennessee. And he loved Tennessee, but it wasn't no Tennessee Fried Chicken. So, in the sake of sticking to the roots and things being done right, I'm also known like him to get fussy over that, and I think they should keep it in Kentucky. And when it comes to the food, just has to be done right. That's all it is. The audio cuts sometimes. Let's see. Is that because it's too high? What if I do that? What if I turn my microphone down a little bit there? Is that better? I'll turn my phone up here to... Done right. That's all that is. What's really going on? Because it's too Alright, what if I do that? I'm gonna turn my microphone down a little bit there. Is that better?
What if I did that? I think that sounds better, doesn't it? I'm not sure if we want the compressor or not, but we're going to try it. I had the NVIDIA broadcast microphone. I tested it out. I wanted to see what it did. Not sure if I want the compressor or not. I'm going to try it. That works. I had the NVIDIA broadcast microphone. I tested it out. I wanted to see what it did. But anyways, yeah, I don't like the changing Colonel Sanders in the ads the way they did, because it's a little offensive to my family and it's a disrespect on his image. And I don't like that they're moving to Texas. But I do like some of the partnership things that they do. Like with this game, I'd like them to partner with Fortnite. Hot Wheels would be a cool one too. Hot Wheels Unleashed. Or just Hot Wheels in general, if it hasn't happened already. I'd love to see that. Really any video game, things that keep his image alive in a respectful way, also while inserting it into modern pop culture, I'm okay with that stuff. But when it comes to disrespecting his image, I'm not okay with that. So let's jump into it. Where were we last time? I think this is the next one. We're hunting for all the Kentucky Fried Chicken buckets. I like how the mirror doesn't really show everything. You can kind of see your hair and stuff. Supposed to hit your eyes? Oh, good. They're frozen versions. I got a feeling I'm going to need this. So, holy crap. First, I'm going to put that there. I got a feeling I got to break this thing. Yeah, this is great. So we don't break that. Oh, we did. We broke the little ice sculpture guy. We're looking for the bucket. And usually the KFC bucket is around food, I've noticed. Keep looking around here. I like to find it first before I do anything else. Keep that up. What are you? Am I supposed to put this thing together? I am. Okay. And this door is open. This is where I came from. Grab that. Hello, mustard. At one. I bet you there's one inside of that. That or that's the key. Okay, I need another amp up there. How do I get up there? There's pieces up there I need. I knew you'd come up here. Do that. But speaker, do we see a bucket? We don't, but we do see a switch. Can you not? Can you not? This is Scott Pilgrim. Alright. Is that going to keep them off? Oh, I need that amp again. Oh, would you look at that? It's back to being electrifying. Two more pieces. There's a Foxo piece. I can get you, man. Oh, this is starting to anger me. Yeah, I'm trying to unlock Uncle Harley in the game because I think it'd be cool. I like the partnership that they did. And I will support the things that I like that they do to keep Uncle Harley's image alive. But they just gotta do it in the right way, like I said. Nice. 1, 2, 3. This thing going. Go, 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 go. I'm over here now. I don't need that right now, but I do need this. You're from Beaver Dam? What's up, Bart? The one near me is, well, I haven't been there in 2 months, but when I went, it was complete slop, and the management was quite rude and unprofessional. And two-faced. I've filed that complaint, but it's gone ignored. But 170,000 people on my other page saw it, and can't ignore that. So have fun with that one, folks. I'm in a group with the owner of that restaurant, but they obviously don't care, or they just haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure which. Central City. Now the one in Madisonville, I had a lot of people tell me it was horrible, but it was pretty good. I won't let someone else tell me whether a restaurant's good or not without trying it myself. Unless they're a really credible source. So I go figure it out for myself. Madisonville was pretty good when I went. Central was not. Corbin, Kentucky has the best one in my opinion that I've been to so far. And they're very heavily oriented into their history there. Where is this book? Green laser. Missed me. Oh, it can't be in this room. It has to be outside of that. Haven't been to Owensboro yet. I mean, I've been there, but I haven't been to their restaurant. I used to be the kind of person that when you go to one bad one like Chick-fil-A, I went to one bad one in 2014, never went back, and I used to judge all of them based on that. But as I grew in what I do and I learned certain things, met with people, members of the brand, I have a more appreciation for how things work, and I understand that you can't blame all restaurants on one bad location. You need to judge that location and criticize them and make them do it right. You can't judge all of them based on that. Where's this last speaker at? There's a speaker part. Ow. This is a machine. The power cell. I don't know where I'm going with it. Guess I'm going here. Yeah, they don't like it when you criticize them. But I'm the wrong person to mess our order up. I don't keep quiet. There's the speaker. 1, 2, 4. Bought it. Get in there. I need health. Now everybody in this area has told me that these restaurants around me, even Owensboro, is horrible, but I won't judge them on that. I'll judge them on my own experience. I was impressed with Madisonville with their quick service. When we went to Central, it took 45 minutes for our 16-piece meal to be done. Waited 45 minutes, and after waiting 45 minutes for the meal and a 10-minute drive home, not even, the chicken was cold, it was soggy, slimy, breading fell off the meat. That's not how it's supposed to be, and they tried arguing with me about it. The GM went on Facebook after unprofessionally reaching out through Messenger and, you know, being mad that I even put down their store, criticized how it was done. They were mad that I didn't give them a 5-star review. They shared my post after I thanked them for getting back to me, at least that franchise. And they tagged me in my post and were cussing out customers that agree with me and telling us to make our own chicken at home with a few choice words and see if our stuff isn't soggy. So I made a video. They blamed their buckets being poorly designed. And before I educated myself on that, I went with that. But I decided to test the bucket because my grandfather informed me that those buckets have been designed that way since the design of the bucket. And it has been sufficiently ventilated to keep it from getting too soggy. Because Uncle Harley even approved of those bucket designs. So I took one of their buckets, I made my own chicken at home, I put it in a bucket for 15 minutes, and it was not soggy, it was still crispy. And I didn't pressure fry mine like it's supposed to be. And they didn't pressure fry it, they took chicken and refried it in the fryer, heating it up again. And I also suspect that their oil wasn't hot enough, even though the fryer tells you when it's ready. Most do. Value Food Services is the new franchisee up and coming in America that owns that franchise. I just know what Uncle Harley's quality is supposed to be through this family. They weren't meeting it, and they were mad that I had said that. So, and then cussing out customers. I was going to go in, and they were going to replace my meal and stuff. But just getting that notification of the GM cussing customers out for daring to file a complaint or a bad review, that didn't sit well with me, so I took it further than that. I decided, no, you know what, we're not going to come into your restaurant again. And we're going to make sure that everyone knows that we're not, and why. And I had the receipts to show. Now, corporate said, oh, we can't do anything to help you, it's up to the franchisee. Well, I contacted the franchisee because I'm in a group with all the franchisees across the world. called the AKFCF. It's been around since the 70s. Uncle Harley recommended the franchisees get together and do this. And I contacted him. He just hasn't seen my message yet. But if this is their experience that they promise from Value Food Services, then I'm going to boycott every single owned Value Food Service franchise. I haven't got to that point yet, but I'm not beyond that point. What is this? Okay, what am I supposed to do here? Oh, okay. Yeah, if you go to KFC, you want what's being advertised, right? No bullcrap. And they got mad that I said it wasn't what was advertised. And they even told me until I can afford to buy the whole entire restaurant back, don't come tell them how the chicken's supposed to be. I'm buying the food as a customer. I'm going to tell you how it's supposed to be because I ordered what I ordered and I didn't get what I ordered. Alright, what am I supposed to do now? Am I supposed to shoot these guys? Yes. Still no buttons. But you also shouldn't have to wait 45 minutes on a non-busy Sunday evening. They tried saying that we came in Sunday morning and it was super busy, so we're bound to get messed up food. And that's not an excuse either. But we came in on a Sunday evening, and there was nobody else there but one person that left because it took too long for their meal to be prepared. We waited 45 minutes and got crap. They obviously don't know how to make it. They just want a quick buck. That's my opinion on it. They don't like me. They really wouldn't have liked Uncle Harley. They can call it Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they do call it Kentucky Fried Chicken. They changed the name to KFC to be better recognized with the public. And the other reasoning... Ooh, a coin. The other reasoning was because the word fried was becoming unhealthy. Everybody was already calling it KFC. It was easily recognizable. And they didn't want to turn people away with their advertisement saying fried in it. The other reason was Kentucky put a copyright or trademark on the name Kentucky, and Kentucky Fried Chicken would have to pay the licensing for that. So there was two reasons why they changed it to KFC. And they were calling it KFC too, customers, when Uncle Harley was alive. He always called it Kentucky Fried Chicken. But it wasn't because, they don't serve chicken anymore like the rumor says. They do serve chicken. It's just they cut it smaller. It's not as big as it used to be. It's more expensive. Franchisees are cutting corners. Quality control needs to be addressed. That's 100% a thing. That needs to be addressed. There are some franchisees that are committed and they do good jobs, and I award them on that. I applaud them. But there are some that cut corners and just want to make money. But if you do it the way the Colonel intended, 100% of the time, you'll always make money because people will come back for more. But if you notice their buckets, say Kentucky Fried Chicken on it. If you go to a franchise, there'll be a big bucket. So not spinning bucket anymore, but some of them have the big bucket on their sign. It says Kentucky Fried Chicken. The one in Corbin says Kentucky Fried Chicken. Their cups say Kentucky Fried Chicken. So if there is a trademark on the name Kentucky and they have to pay the licensing, they're obviously paying that licensing. But everybody knows them as KFC, so the abbreviated name is what's going to be advertised faster. It's cheaper, less letters to use, and faster. But on all their packaging, it still says Kentucky Fried Chicken. If it's good, that's all that matters, so long as they're doing things right and it's good. What embarrasses me is to be in this family, and even though we don't have a connection to it anymore corporate-wise, for people to be going to get Colonel Sanders chicken and it be absolute slop, that's an embarrassment. And with all the work that I put into to preserving his legacy and people remembering it accurately, to be served slop is embarrassing, especially when you know that they have the abilities to do it right because you've seen the franchises that do it right. So you know how it's supposed to be done, you see how it's supposed to be done, and when you go to a restaurant that's not doing it right, you know they're not doing things right. So it's just embarrassing. But things just have to be done right. It leaves all of them a bad look, even the good ones, the good teams that work hard. Everyone online that posts a review and folks around town, they'll see the bad ones and they'll say it's not the same anymore, it's crap, it's crud, you don't want it, and it puts a bad name on all the people that work hard. But if you don't be like that and you test out other franchises around you, just give them a try in other places, just see what it's like. If it sucks, it sucks, but if it's good, then it opens your eyes to realize, and not just for KFC, but for every restaurant, not every franchise is going to be the same, and maybe the one near you just happened to be cutting corners. You can still get a good experience. But if they don't cut corners and they focus on quality control, you want to have those issues and people will be looking more at wanting to get it. If you look at the the recent news in Kentucky Fried Chicken, they're struggling to keep their doors open. I mean, they just closed all their franchises in Turkey, for crying out loud. And despite their growth and despite their AI growth that they're implementing as well and their new spin-off chains like Saucy, they're still struggling to keep the doors open. And it's because of the quality control issues. Not just that, but the skyrocketing prices, and for longer wait times, less proportions. People are just eating at home now. I mean, crying out loud, I think 1,000 people, that's not big in the corporate world, but 1,000 people are making it at home with my recipe rather than buying 99X or Grace's Perfect Blend without going out and spending $60 on a meal that you just get slop. So if they can't do it right, get out of the way and let somebody else who can do it and wants to do it. But it just has to be right. Uncle Harley summed that up perfectly with his interview with Jim Baker the last year before he died. He said that it doesn't sit well with him when they change the flour, the oil, when they change things, they change proportions, they stretch out ingredients. It doesn't sit well when they cut corners, because it depreciates the value of his product. He didn't care about how much money he got. He cared about the customer and what their experience was. And he said it just had to be done right. And if it was done right, then there would be no question about it. Your success is guaranteed. And they strayed away from that after selling out to several different corporations. He sold it for $2 million to Brown and Massey. 7.5 years later, it sells for over $280 million. That's quite an appreciation of value. It sells again for a lot more than that. I can't tell you how much it sold to PepsiCo for. But then they spun off Yum Brands. Now they're a multi-billion-dollar company. And they just gotten away from their roots. They gotten away from doing things right. You look at their advertisement and their social media influencer partnerships. They're disingenuine. They don't care about the customer anymore. It's what it comes across as. But there are franchisees that do. Does that make sense? There are franchisees that do. The corporate comes across as if they don't with their advertisements. When it comes to individual franchisees, a lot of them do care. There's just some, I don't know why. Maybe they bit off more than they could chew. I don't know what their issue is. There's really no excuse, but they're cutting corners. So call me a thorn in the side, but I say it needs to be done right, and if they're not going to do it right, they have to deal with the criticism that comes from that. And 10 years ago, the president of Kentucky Fried Chicken admitted that they have gone away from doing things the Colonel's way, and they acknowledge people are saying it doesn't taste the same anymore. And the reason why it doesn't taste the same is because the oil changed, the flour changed, the people who make it changed, the hands that make it, so the region where the spices are harvested or grown, the type of spice, like you could have sage grown in 3 different regions and they be different in quality. We have no idea they could be using the same name spices, but where they come from, how they originate, what breed it is, could be different. But we know for a fact that the hands that make it change. The oil has changed multiple times. I think 2006 or 7 was the last year that they changed it. And then the flour changed, definitely, because they used to use a cake flour. Now they use a different kind of flour. And Uncle Harley knew that they were changing it because it started making changes when he was getting ready to die. The last decade of his life, he realized that they were changing some things on that. So, I could talk about it all day long. They just need to acknowledge the issues and fix them. Quality control is the biggest one. They need to fix the broken customer service. If I call, have a problem with the restaurant won't fix it. I want to speak to the owner of that restaurant. And there should be no excuse or reason why corporate can't get you the contact to that. So, that's my opinion. Let's find this bucket. Like I said, I love KFC. I love the history. It's my family history. I love it. Just like I love Lee's. I love it because I'm passionate about it. It's in my blood. I just like to see it done right. Let's find the bucket. I found the bucket. There's the bucket right there, folks. Look at it glisten. Isn't it beautiful? I still say they should have used the drawing that looks more like Uncle Harley than that one. That one, somebody made that for them. They hired an artist in the early 2000s to change the logo. Previous to that, they were using logos that actually depicted him. This was a more slimmed down, younger version looking of him. It's people recognize it heavily when they see it, but that's not Uncle Harley. That one don't look like him as much as some of the other logos they have. I think they should have put the other one in here. But here it is. Now we can leave. Talk to this guy. Password. I need the chick that can say things. Do we have a body swap? Body swap. Oh! A key card. Well, we got the KFC bucket. That's all we cared about. But let's unlock other things. Yeah, I hate to get 50 years down the road here and KFC not even exist, or its reputation completely ruined, no longer what it was. I hate to see that happen. If that happens, I'll start my own restaurant, though, and continue the Colonel's legacy through that. Right now, they have an opportunity to start fixing things. They got family that's willing to work with them, wants to work with them, and bring back the values that Uncle Harley had that sold the business so well. We'll just have to see. They have that opportunity. Customers are not showing the demand for that. I have a large following on TikTok, but TikTok has suppressed that. Large following on Instagram, but it's not enough for the corporate level to be like, hey, we want this guy. If I ever did a partnership video with them, I'd have to go way out of town. Not way out of town, but 20 minutes out of town to Madisonville so that I could get the chicken, because I will not go back to Central City. Because if I have to do a review for KFC in a video and I go to Central City and they give me slop, they're not going to like the review that I leave them, because I'm not going to lie. I have to go to a good franchise that I know is good and review the food the way it's supposed to be for a video like that. But if I'm just reviewing restaurants myself, I still will never go back to Central City's Kentucky Fried Chicken unless they get new management. I will never go back there and try their food again, because I tried it. It was horrible. And so long as the manager that has been there for 8 years is still there and those people who harassed my page are still working there, I will not go back there. That's the principle of the situation with that. You need 42 buckets. somebody from Beaver Dam that was the fiance of the GM that cussed out the employee, or the not employee, sorry, customers online from there. He threatened me. So. Said I should have my head bashed. Everybody from that restaurant decided to insult me for my relation to the Colonel and my content. I was criticizing their food for the price that we paid and the time that we waited and compared it to what it was supposed to be. And they decided to start attacking my gaming content, my person, my finances, my relation. So yeah, screw that location. I will not be back to that one. You did not reload fast enough and I am dead. Oh, at some point I'll go down there. My father is a truck driver and he's quite frequently down there, so I'm sure I'll go down there sometime and try their food. But when YouTube starts bringing in more money, it's bringing in enough money to feed my ducks right now, but I've been working hard on my content creation for the last 3 years and finally got YouTube to a point where I'm actually getting paid. But once YouTube starts bringing in some good money, I've had a lot of requests to go to Kentucky Fried Chickens and review their food, good or bad, and make videos on that. So I will be happy to do that once this starts doing things. And it is. We just gotta give it a time. Come on, Mega Man, get up. You think I got health? I need health. Dude, come back here. I think it'd make a pretty cool series, the Colonel's nephew going around and trying the different locations, seeing which ones are doing it right, which ones are not. Just honest food reviews and highlighting those who are doing good and giving those who are doing bad the opportunity to fix it. But if they react the way that Central City did, I'm not going to be nice. I was nice in my review. You can go, there's a playlist on here for the review. You can see what the food looked like and what they said. That's all on videos here on YouTube. But I was nice in my review. Yeah, I was a little agitated because we couldn't get someone to answer the phone, and it took us 45 minutes to get our food, and it was slop when we got it, and they charged us for items that we ordered extra, but they did not give us extra. So yeah, you gotta expect your customer not to be too happy with that situation. But it's in the playlist KFC Reviews. I'm not sure if it says Central City on it, but KFC Reviews. Give me that crown. That's back there. I need to get the password. Change my character. My franchisee friends that I have told me, I sent them everything, showed them everything, my food review. They applauded me on the review. They said more people should be open to criticizing the bad locations, give them a chance to work on what they need to work on. And they said the response that I got and the way that it was handled would lead up to a termination of their positions. Because it's not tolerable. Where is the opening? There you are. So we got the bucket, and this lady allows us to do password. Hello? Hello. Okay. Second password. So I'm just supposed to whack them? Get me out of here. I got the bucket. We're gonna get all the buckets in the Scott Pilgrim world here. In this live. I intend on it. Why is there so many of you? See, things like this also gets people who usually wouldn't be interested in a certain franchise or something interested in it. Like Scott Pilgrim, I've never heard of it before. It's obviously a show. I think. The Umbrella Academy, I've never seen it. I never had an interest in it, but now I do because of this. So I think by adding Uncle Harley to the game gets people not only interested in the brand, but also what I do, which is very good for me as well. Where are y'all coming from? Got a fossil. Looking for the bucket. Oh, this lady. Looking for the bucket. What's that? I'll check everywhere for that bucket first. Before we move on to the next one. KFC bucket. I see it. It's right there. The bucket's right in there. Ooh, one of those. Now I just need to find the key card. Oh, you're not a lady. What is the bucket is? Now I just need to find the key card. Ah, crap. key card gotta be up here somewhere. Oh, I see a thing there too. Okay. Alright, let's defeat this guy. This. Ow! I think you only carry 10 at a time. Wait, we need 2 more. I'm not collecting that big crown yet, though. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm not collecting your crown. I'm talking to you until I find what I'm looking for. And that is a bucket. And I know where the bucket is. I need to get it first. There's a key card here somewhere. Ours didn't even taste good, dude. It's not done right. Horrible. And it's a shame because I've been to some good ones here in Kentucky and just embarrassing to have a bad one like that. And some people will argue, well, don't sell your restaurant there. Well, I didn't sell it. I am where I'm at. I'll go ahead and take this and throw it in there. the health chest. How do I get the key card for in there? That's the bucket. Sometimes you hit these things in the game and it will drop something for you. Foxo. Key card. Give me that bucket. That finger licking good chicken. Possible. Uncle Harley met a lot of people in his lifetime. The only thing I never believe is when someone says he gave him the recipe. Some people meet Uncle Jim, who looks just like Uncle Harley. Or did, he's dead. And they confuse it as him. Which Jim never really corrected them, I don't think. I believe that was the entire Scott Pilgrim. That's pretty cool if true. Again, he met thousands of people across the world. He was very it's not, the word's not into it, but connecting with his customers and franchisees. He would walk around the restaurants and ask the customers how they were liking the food and make sure that everything was on point with how it was supposed to be. So now we gotta go back up here and turn in our crown. Some franchisees will do that today, and managers, they go around asking everybody how the food is instead of just hiding in the kitchen or whatever.
This place is delirium, undecided on what it wants to be. Factory or landfill, morgue or museum. But you, I know you. Your face calls to me. You are... what? What are you to me? Ah! Your voice echoes in my head like a drowning dream. It's nauseating. I hate it. All for fun and fun for all. Oh, pathetic.
And he becomes Eddie. So you need 42 Foxo as well to unlock him. We're still looking for Uncle Harley. don't know where you turn the bucket. Three more worlds to complete, it looks like. Yeah, we can do that. Let's see who we want to unlock now. Sometimes you have to exit the game because it glitches, but that's okay. I do. KFC sent me one, or my friends at KFC did. It is the only one in the world signed by Colonel Sanders because my name is Colonel Sanders. I thought it'd be kind of cool too. I was going to give it away to a lucky viewer, but everyone said I need to keep it. I agree with them. I'm going to keep this one. So what I'm going to do is get my hands on a couple other ones. And when we reach 1 million followers on this YouTube page, not my alternate accounts that I made for gaming or history, not my 300,000 following TikTok or the 67,000 following Instagram, YouTube, this page. When this one reaches 1 million, and it will, I have faith that it will one day, I'm going to get a couple more, sign them, and send them out to a couple lucky viewers. And how I'm going to pick those viewers are basically whoever's the most active. And you know, I see community highlights, I'll probably pick them out of there. But that's all you have to do is follow and be active if you want one of these. And if you believe in the mission that I'm doing, keeping the legacy alive, and also having fun with gaming, just interact with the page. I mean, we're fun here. We have fun. And I'll sign one and send them out. But that's all you gotta do. It could be 10 years from now, if YouTube still exists, before that happens. And if that happens, then great. If it doesn't, then, you know, I give it a try. I got friends with 30 million followers, so I know it's possible. I never used to think it was, but I do now. We have not done the thing. We have done Jurassic Park, Scott's Pilgrim, Umbrella Academy. We've done Masters of the Universe. We have not done Hot Fuzz, whatever that is, the thing, or Battlestar Galactica. Let's do this one. We'll just go ahead and unlock this. Whee! Let's find them buckets. Ryan Hall's one. He's from Kentucky. He's in Eastern Kentucky. And Hardships and Felonies. He's one. And you got Kentucky Life with my friend Jeremy. I'm friends with all these guys, by the way, except for Ryan. I have not made friends with Ryan Hall, but Hardships and Felonies, Billy Hubbard, and Kentucky Life. There's also the teacher on TikTok, and I'm sorry I cannot remember your name, but he always says Educator. He's I'll look him up real quick. I'm friends with him. He's a Kentucky influencer. They're all on YouTube. They're mainly all known on TikTok and some Facebook and Instagram, but they're all on YouTube. It's so hard to get your following from other platforms when you're famous on there to follow you on YouTube. I don't know what it is. It's very difficult to do. So you have to grow organically here. Hope that some of your followers or friends see you on here too. And Billy Hubbard's a good one. Him and his, I think it's his wife. They're good people. I haven't got to meet them in person yet. I'm going to at some point when I go back to Corbin. But he followed me one day on TikTok, and we've been pretty good friends since. I think we chit chat here and there and talk about his humor, and he likes to send me things about KFC every once in a while. He'll run into an impersonator or his friends want to go do something there for a video, and he'll contact me and see if I'm okay with it, which he doesn't have to do. That's just respect there. And a few other, you know, I'm going to ask him if he'd like to become a colonel. I nominate a lot of my famous mutuals for colonel too, because what they do for the community, the reason why I would nominate them is they give a break from, you know, the politics and all the crap of the world. They give an escape, then they entertain people and give them laughter, and I think that is, that in itself, you can make people laugh. That's a good thing. That's a good thing to give to your community. So. Yeah, he does it on YouTube and Instagram too, not just TikTok. So let me go to my TikTok friends. A lot of these Kentucky content creators, I wasn't living in Kentucky at the time of us meeting online. I was living in Maine. So the gentleman that I am talking about. Oh, Mr. Fat Cheetah. I think he's in Florida, though. Friends with him. Forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm friends with Sean Kelly, too, but I don't think he's a Kentuckian. Oh, yeah, I just clicked friends to scrolling through everybody. Gary Brooksprin. Found him. Gary Brooksprin. He's a Kentucky content creator. He's on YouTube as well. There you go. Shout outs to my buddies there, the real ones. KFC bucket. Oh, there's stuff back here. Do I see a KFC bucket? I don't need you to get through here. I just glitched the system. Well, I need to build something though. Yep. I'm going to need to build something. And I ain't got the stuff here to build it. These are the switches. Oh, here we go. We got it here. I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that. I have no idea. Do you see a bucket? Always look for the bucket first. There's a piece of amber. Need a laser to open that door. Some of these worlds you have to come back to later to unlock certain things because you don't have the characters for it. Oh, this guy again? Yeah, I like the Lego games. Like this guy, I think he's going to be in every single level. So all the unlockables and cameos, there'll be things to unlock for them in every single level in the game. So there's 42 of everything to unlock. There's a duck. There's a duck. cameras. KFC bucket. Hi, with you. Heal him up a little bit. Hello, pizza. Thank you for joining. Are you shady? Saying guess who's back makes me think you're shady. Guess who's back? Back again. These flames. And he gone. He out of here. A duck. Why are there eggplants everywhere? We do not leave this world till we find out where that bucket is. Yeah, that's all decoration. Hey Curtis, yeah, it's He-Man. Remember to like the live, folks. It helps boost it on the algorithm. KFC bucket, where are you? Honk. Sometimes they'll hide them up on the buildings. That's nice. Follow the swan. But what about the bucket? It's possible the bucket's not even out here. This is where I spawned at. Let's change the character. Funko Fusion, I think, is like $40, but I got it for a birthday present from Tyler. Might as well get this while I'm at it. Hey, burrito. The game's all here. We use here. Burritos here. Oh, my controller died. Oh, there's one way to fix that. Need a flame dude. I can get a flame dude. Need one for the other side too. It's the character. So you have a flame card, sir. Yes, Jeff Goldblum. Apartments.com. And why doesn't this work? Oh, that's why. You have to hold one. Foxo. Oh, look at Jurassic Park thing. Oh, look, it's Johnny Miller and the other impersonators. Black light unlocked. So what is it used for? Guess we haven't quite gotten to that part. Yeah, Johnny don't like it when I call him a clown, but, you know, you dress up and literally go to birthday parties as Colonel Sanders. I won't even do that. Unless it's like a family friend or something. The goose! The murder scene. Okay, cool. We look around for clues. Oh, these are the bodies. Okay. So look for the I don't know if he goes to children's birthday parties, but he's literally a clown for hire. He has it on his business thing. He'll go to private events, private parties. He'll go to big public parties. You hire him to be Colonel Sanders. Says he's a brand ambassador. I was told that he's no longer one. I don't know how true any of it is. But the other ones do. They go to children's parties, children's hospitals and stuff to be Colonel Sanders. Not sponsored by KFC, by the way. But they pretend to be by my family for some reason. I don't get it. And they go to public speaking events as Colonel Sanders, and it just doesn't make any sense to me why anybody would want to do that. Why anybody encourages that. Maybe it's because they don't know there's family still around. Family would be willing to come and talk about the Colonel's story over an impersonator. So the reason why they involved themselves in children's hospitals and stuff is because Uncle Harley was very heavily into it. The impersonators are going to impersonate Uncle Harley. They will go to the children's hospitals and children's events and stuff to be Colonel Sanders, whatever, praise him, yada yada. But they're doing that because Colonel Sanders was heavily involved with kids. And what I mean by that is, he was very passionate about helping children out, about giving them a good life, good opportunities. He believed they were our future and the only thing worth living for. And what got him to that point was, he had a son that died at birth. His only son that lived past birth was Harlan Davis Sanders Jr., died in his 20s. So he had his firstborn son not alive when he was born. He had his born son die in his 20s before he could have any kids. He had a grandchild that died of, I think it was either cancer or some serious illness as a child. And these things broke the Colonel's heart. It broke Uncle Harley's heart, and he didn't want any other family to have to go through what his family did. He wanted to make sure if they did have to go through it, they had the resources available. So he opened up children's hospitals and family care centers, and he did everything possible that he could for foster homes. Anything he could possibly do to help out children, he would do it. And that was out of the kindness of his heart. These people are doing it because they want to be associated with Colonel Sanders. Does that make sense? I hit the goose. Not everybody knew that Uncle Harley had a granddaughter that died at a young age. He had a brother that died at birth, too. Okay, so where am I going? We're looking for a KFC bucket still. That would have been a great place to put one. A duck! I could go in through the back? No. Do a double sweep through here to make sure we checked everything for that bucket. It could even be in the key room there. I want to find that trash pile that we were at. Hey, it could be back in there too. I don't know how many more are left. Oh, I see. This is how this works. Yeah, they are literally trying to be him, regardless what they say. They cover it up. They cover their butts by saying they're impersonators, but I have been with Johnny Miller at America's Got Talent when he welcomed himself there when he learned on YouTube I was going years ago. And people asked him in front of us. This is while the ads were going on with changing the Colonel. They asked in front of my grandpa and I didn't have facial hair, nothing like that. I was a baby face nerd. And like these two girls, for instance, came up and says, "Are you really the real Colonel Sanders?" And he would go, "Why, yes, I am the real Colonel Harlan Sanders. It's a pleasure to meet you. You make sure you get them that finger-licking good chicken." And then he would turn around and tell my grandpa and I, he knew who we were because of my YouTube channel. And after I told him, don't come, because you can't come into the auditions without a wristband. You have to apply for the wristband weeks before the auditions. And he said they'll let him in because he's a celebrity. They did not let him in. He was outside the doors and met us. He freaking told my grandpa and I legally have to say that because I have a contract with Kentucky Fried Chicken that says I have to say that. Bull crap. Bull crap. Bull crap. Kentucky Fried Chicken's official page has even shared him and one other, CJ Sizemore, official brand ambassadors for Kentucky Fried Chicken, and their names at their brand ambassadors. Sharing their names to the public. Now, I'm told by other representatives, Johnny no longer represents KFC because he's been talked to about misrepresentation of the brand. He would go on Star Trek cruises as the Colonel. He would go to other places as the Colonel. He was using his book about being in a cult that he used to be in with Colonel Sanders' image, but him dressed as the Colonel. And they told him, you can't be doing that. That's misrepresentation of the brand, especially where he was. He was officially representing the brand, and then he was taking that further, misrepresenting it. So I was told he's no longer represents them, but I don't know. He would go to these Colonel Fest events and the Chicken Festival. He was not asked to go by KFC as a brand ambassador, but he would tell people he's there as one. He's not supposed to. So there's all this crap, but he still professionally does Colonel Sanders impersonations. And he knows the family doesn't approve of it. And he even told me, Thayer, and these other impersonators have told me, if you and your family don't want us doing this, tell us and we will stop out of respect for your family. And we told them we would like you to stop, and they basically said, F you, we're still doing it. Okay, I'm still going to say what I got to say about it. So, I don't like dwelling on it, but when people ask about it, they have questions about it, and I talk about it. I do. And I dwell on it a little bit more than others, but like Matt and I have been saying, it is a freaking disease. When someone wants to be a Colonel Sanders impersonator, it starts with the good fun of it, but then it becomes a mental illness, a disease. They begin to think they are him, or they are the ones that need to be him, be the new one for the ads. Like Miller told me his goal is to pitch an idea to Kentucky Fried Chicken to allow him to be Colonel Sanders for the ads on TV and bring back the original way and be like redo an old commercial in the new light with him in it. These guys kept me as far away from corporate as they possibly could by saying that they had contact with corporate and they would get me in contact with them to get my family back involved, and they didn't do that. They manipulated me for years for information about my family. They tried doing it with other family members, which is why there's not a lot of family that talks about being related online. I could go on and on about it, and so yeah, it upsets me when I see people glorify them and hold them up high at lookalike contests, official KFC events, people sharing them around, them going around saying they're endorsed by my family when they're not. And it's not just Miller, it's all of them. They all have their own quirks. Where am I supposed to go? I don't see no bucket. Where's the flame? I saw a trash can thing here with flames on it. But right now, from the looks of it, from how these people walk around talking about that they're brand ambassadors, KFC would rather an impersonator be representing their brand and misrepresenting it than have actual family that wants to represent who the Colonel was, because he was in our family and we hold the same values and work ethic. They rather have somebody misrepresenting the brand than have somebody officially representing it in a good way. That's what it speaks. The more they allow this behavior to continue, and not the quality control, moving HQ, I mean, they're just going to ruin the brand themselves. If they got good potential, there's good people in there, and that's what I want to fight for, is the people wanting to keep the legacy alive through the brand in the right way, because they love what they do. and I'd like to get in there and start making a difference. But they have to see the value in that. That's why I push it so hard on my pages. Yep. I ain't going to shy away from it because Miller talks about it online. His whole family has disowned him. He wasn't even invited to his father's funeral. And I think it has something to either do with the cult that he was in, which he wrote a book about, or it has to do with him making his life Colonel Sanders. The dude literally has a cardboard cutout of himself in his living room. And then he insisted when I went on the podcast with Jim Meskimen. Oh, we're getting close to the trash, I think. Jim Meskimen was the voice of Colonel Sanders for the brand. Okay? Oh, I need to get the camera over here. Okay, crap. Jim Meskimen was the voice of Colonel Sanders for the brand. I learned about him because at the time I was talking to Johnny, who had me manipulated into thinking that he was still a friend. And he told me who Jim Meskimen was. He said he was good friends with him. Well, that turned out to be a lie because I talked to Jim. I talk with Jim, not regularly anymore, but I used to. Back when we did the podcast, he'd never heard of Johnny Miller before. But he wanted to do an interview with me, and I told Johnny we were doing an interview. Johnny was insisting that I could not do that interview without Johnny being part of the interview. Why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? This is not working. Okay, well, screw that. I don't see a bucket, I just see a chest. So yeah, he didn't want me going on the podcast without him because he was official representative of KFC, yada yada yada. I still did it without him, and he bugged me until the point that he realized he wasn't getting on the show. Any interview I did, he wanted to be on. The one of them that I like, Colonel Wilkerson, died about a month ago. I used to like Thayer until he changed. Thayer worked with kids with autism and disabilities. And I ran into him on a forum online of KFC years ago, almost a decade ago, if not longer. Back when I was researching about the different actors playing my uncle, I saw this guy, and he was heavily involved in dressing like him, and talking on every KFC post he could find. I was like, oh, what's this guy about? So I contacted him. He knew how to talk to me because I was autistic. He knew how to work me. And he would get me to talk to him and be friends with him, yada yada. He got me to write him a letter of endorsement, scribbled on a paper word for word of what he wanted me to say. And it sounds completely idiotic now when you go back and read it and you look at my handwriting back then. But he said in return for that, he will make sure that I could get in contact with KFC corporate. He would make sure that I got items that belonged to my uncle. One of the things he gave me, he did give me stuff. He never got me in contact with corporate, but he gave me like a little marble of Uncle Harley. I even have an old video privatized on here saying, thank you, Colonel Thayer. Because he likes to pretend he never met me now, and he wants to slander me online because I called him out for the stuff. But I still got that video of me thanking him for the stuff that he sent because I thought he was my friend at the time. And I had nominated him for Kentucky Colonel for the work that he did, because I wasn't a colonel at the time that I met him. And I became a colonel at the time of me talking to him, and I said, would you like to be a colonel for the work you do with the children? Because I had cancer, I'm autistic, and that resonated with me, what he was doing. I liked that he was doing that. And he said, yes, oh God, yes. And, you know, he loved that I was going to nominate him for it. Hey, Chris, I'll get to your question in a minute. Yes. Okay. And say hi to Nevaeh. She's behind me. So, anyways, and I'm talking about the impersonators, by the way. Got brought up. My viewers, they had questions. She's tired of hearing me talk about it. Everyone is. Everyone's tired of it. I'm tired of it. Anyway, so I nominated the guy for his work with children. And then Homer Harmon is another guy I like. I'm not even sure if he's alive anymore. But he dressed like the Colonel. He did a lot of cancer awareness things. So as a Kentucky Colonel, and I was a new, young Kentucky Colonel, what your duties are is to nominate other worthy individuals to be goodwill ambassadors to the state. So that's what I was doing, I was taking it seriously. This guy, yeah, he dressed like Uncle Harley, but he did a lot of cancer research work. He did a lot of awareness work for them. He would dress as the Colonel, go to these cancer events, and raise money, not for himself, but for the organization, like the American Cancer Society, for the area that he was in. And I like that. So I nominated him for Kentucky Colonel. He became a Kentucky Colonel. And now Johnny Miller, he tries to befriend all these other impersonators so that he could keep them in a close circle so he could stay on top as the impersonator, the guy on top. So he acts like he's friends with them in person, but behind the scenes online, he would talk bad about them to me, but he would do it over the phone because he didn't think I could record a phone call. But he did it over the phone because he knew text messages could be used against him, and he did have some of those used against him because he did text some of the stuff to me before I learned his goals. And I was friends with Thayer at the time. Thayer was a big enemy of Johnny Miller. Johnny Miller, big enemy of Thayer. Thayer knew I didn't like Miller and used that to exploit me. So I get on his side to push Miller out of the way. We called him washed up, and it's time that he gets out of the way because nobody that I met that genuinely cares about the Colonel liked Johnny Miller's portrayal. They got weird vibes from him. And Thayer used that. So anyways, I'm talking to Thayer for about a year now, and he gets commissioned to Colonel. I congratulate him on it. And then I nominated Homer Harmon. He was not a good voice impersonator, but he's a very kind man. He liked to dress like the Colonel and make people smile. He wasn't doing it in everyday life. He wasn't going to church preaching like the Colonel, like some of these folks do. He wasn't going in the stores. He wasn't trying to be working with KFC in the way that these other guys were. And he didn't try to manipulate me for anything. So out of my kindness, I nominated him for Colonel. Thayer sees this. He loses his freaking mind. He goes off on me. He goes off on me for nominating another. He goes, I was supposed to be the only impersonator of Colonel Sanders nominated by you as a Kentucky Colonel. No one else. It takes my specialness away. That's what he told me. He then blocked me for 5 years. I'm like, okay, whatever with this guy. I missed talking to him a bit because we had some good conversations back and forth. Like I said, he knew how to work me, how to get conversations out of me. And then Miller's still talking, and then to me, and these guys start getting in the drama, and I'm seeing it more. I reach out to Thayer from another account of mine, and he apologizes for his outlash 5 years ago at that time. And he wants to be friends again, wants to have the conversation, share history about the Colonel and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, I used to talk to this guy. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He had a bad day, whatever. Start talking again. Miller's trying to tell people he is being endorsed by the KFC museum. I'm friends with the owners of the museum. They do not like Miller. I have confirmation on that. They do not want him there. They run him off every time he shows up. And Thayer is telling me that they're going to the chicken festival for the Colonel Sanders lookalike contest, and Miller is insulting Thayer for being too fat and too balding to be the Colonel. And I said to Miller, I go, that's not right to do. My grandfather looks more like the Colonel than any of you guys because he's related and he has the Sanders genetics to make him look like it. And I said, so you telling Thayer him being too fat, too round, too thin-haired to be the Colonel is an insult because my grandfather can be him for the ads if he wanted to, like if they wanted to hire him for it. He would look exactly like him, but he's round and short. So how dare you? And that's what Miller said, that if I wanted him to step down from it, he would, and he never did. He ignored me. He blocked me. And then Thayer I told Thayer, if you see Miller, you have my permission to tell him that we do not appreciate him and how he acts. Thayer then sends me a message a day later saying that he told Miller that my family has an open lawsuit against him for defaming the Colonel's image and name, and this is why Miller now unblocks me and is spamming my phone, calling me, insisting that I talk to him about this because he was scared that we were actually suing him. I told Thayer, you did not have the right to do that. We told you to tell him that we don't like what he's doing. He goes, well, you can initiate a lawsuit now. I go, no, we're not going to. We have no reason to. I said, you cannot tell people we're suing them because you want to scare them from going to a lookalike contest for you to win. He also said he'll have his letter of endorsement. I told him, I wrote that letter to you 5 years ago, and you manipulated me into writing it for you. You blocked me for 5 years. The moment you blocked me and my family, that became invalid. We do not endorse you. We never will endorse you. We never actually endorsed you. I just signed a handwritten note to you that was scribbled word for word of what you wanted me to say because you promised me things that you didn't keep on. I said I'd be happy to write you a new letter saying that we don't hate you, but we don't endorse you or any other impersonator because of the drama you guys caused over the last decade. And he lost his mind and blocked me. And then he name dropped me saying that him and I are good friends, that I nominated him for Colonel, which is true, I did nominate him, and that he is endorsed by the Sanders family, the only impersonator. And I told him you need to take it down. Blocks me. Blocks my alternate account that I made to tell him that. I emailed him. He blocked that email. Blocked all my family members that reached out to tell him you need to take this down. And he continued to say it. So that forced me to have to go on to TikTok and all my platforms to tell people, because he's publicly telling people, and I'm starting to go viral. These people don't like I'm going viral because now people are coming to the actual family for information, not them. But people are saying, is this guy actually related to you? Is this guy your friend? Do you endorse him? Because my name's now popping up on his page. And I have to say, no, we don't. Well, then some unhinged commenters say some hateful things. He screenshots it immediately because as soon as I saw it, I deleted it. And then he twists it to say that I am inciting violence against him. Now he needs to get his lawyer on me. And then he drops where I live on his page. And then he takes some of my videos from TikTok, renames them Sanders Gives a Blowjob, Sanders Humping, and says that I am insulting the Colonel's image, doesn't know who I am. He says he never heard of me before, trying to figure me out, and that I'm insulting the Colonel's image wearing his suit. Then he takes photos of me from when I was 17 and 18 years old at my church, which you have to go to St. George's Episcopal Church, the church I was nominated as a colonel at, in Florida. Scroll years. You gotta scroll for years to find the photos of me, and you have to know it's me. I was dressed as my priest for a trunk or treat event for Halloween at my church. At the time, I didn't dress as the colonel. I dressed in Hawaiian shirts. So me and my priest had an idea, funny, for the congregation and for the trunk or treat, that I dressed like the priest and the priest dressed like me. So he dressed in a Hawaiian shirt, I dressed as him with a black vest and a little piece of construction paper around my neck. And he always wore sunglasses. Everybody loved it. But he took those, cropped the priest out of it, took those photos and said that I'm impersonating a priest in public and pretending to give out blessings or whatever, and that's a disgrace too. So he's actively trying to slander my name now. Yeah. I don't care if people know. I'm in Greenville, Kentucky. He dropped that publicly. Everyone knows where I'm at. I don't care. Somebody comes here wanting an autograph, okay. You want to cause harm, you know, that's a different story. But everybody knows where I'm at because he dropped that. And I haven't hid it either. I mean, people recognize me in public. It's just a respect thing you do when you don't harass somebody for that. But this is what they are. The one that does work with children, autistic children. He took advantage of me, autistic, young and naive, manipulated me into liking him as a friend, and then, you know, trusting each other. And then once he couldn't get what he wanted out of me anymore, and I saw it for what it was, which was grooming and manipulation, he completely lost his mind. I should have seen it when he blocked me for 5 years prior to that, but I had no idea he was still using that letter of endorsement, telling people that I endorsed him, my family, the Sanders family endorsed him. You go up to his YouTube channel, he has a video of him sitting there going, "Get some of this finger-licking good Kentucky Fried Chicken, folks. I'm the only Colonel Sanders impersonator endorsed by the Sanders family. I live and breathe Colonel Sanders." He has all the memorabilia around him. He has the Colonel suit in his basement. Or in his garage, whatever. He's offered for me to come to his house and try it on. I joke around now saying I bet he tries my uncle's suit on naked. But, I mean, him, Thayer, and Miller, both. When I mentioned my family or just I come into Colonel Fest or the Chicken Festival to represent the Sanders family at these events that are inspired by Colonel Sanders, they insisted rather than me stay with my family that lives here, that I come to their house and stay at their house. And at this point, I am fully believing that I would not have returned if I went to their house. I would have ended up stuffed like a taxidermy deer in their display room. That's what I think would have happened to me. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that's what would happen. That's my opinion of what would happen, based on everything I know now of how they behave. So every time an impersonator comes up to me and says, "Oh, I impersonate your uncle," I'm like, "Oh, geez, go away. I don't care." Because those guys ruined it for me. And I get criticized by people online for dressing my way, dressing this way, representing the family history. I get hated on for it because people say you need to find your own image, yada yada. I got these freaking old grown-ass men doing the things that I just described. That's representing my family right now to the public. The ads on TV are representing it to the public. So the family should be able to represent the family to the public. That's how I see it. Yeah, it is weird and disturbing. This is why, another reason why every video that I do, I say, "Howdy folks, I'm Colonel Sanders and you're not." You all loved it. I got it from Saturday Night Live. But I do that because I know they still watch. They have me blocked, but I know they still watch on alternate accounts. Because they still post about me occasionally, especially Thayer. And he can see my updates, so I know he's watching or has somebody watching. So I want them to know, my name is actually Colonel Sanders. Their name is Colonel Miller. Colonel Thayer. I am actually Colonel Sanders. I have a certificate that says it. I am Colonel Sanders. I nominated every male Sanders in my family as a Kentucky colonel so they could say they're Colonel Sanders. For their military work and the other stuff that they've done for their community. I'm a colonel. My father's a colonel. My uncle's a colonel. My grandfather's a colonel. His father was a colonel. His brother was a colonel. I don't believe Clarence, the colonel's brother, was a Kentucky colonel. I don't know for sure, but I don't think he was. But then Colonel Harlan Sanders was the first Kentucky colonel in the family. So my mission is, above all else, these impersonators, to uphold the legacy through the family instead of these impersonators trying to do it in their way. And just have it remembered accurately, rather than have these freaks do it. And I'm saying that because these guys are freaks. I don't care who that offends, they are freaks. I don't understand why they do what they do, the way that they do what they do. I've said in the past they are so balls deep into this they cannot pull out. They've wasted their life savings on items that belong to my uncle. Thayer's home, he has a giant chicken statue outside of his house acting as if he is the big chicken man. I don't know what Miller has outside of his house other than he moved to Corbin. And he made this public. He moved to Corbin so that he could uphold the Kentucky Fried Chicken legacy there where it all began. And the museum told him no. So I don't know where he is today or what he's doing today, other than going to KFC stores dressed as the Colonel. So, you know, I had to deal with this stuff for 10 years, and it has bothered me for 10 years. And you know, these grown-ass men at retirement age are behind all of it. And KFC endorses that kind of crap, apparently, by allowing some of them to represent their brand officially and not pay any attention to the family. So, rather than fight it, rather than, like, sue them or whatever, I want to give KFC the opportunity to work with me, have me represent the brand officially. Yeah, I've said some things about their brand ambassador, but they're true and they need to be known. I criticize their commercials. It's true. It needs to be known. That's not who Colonel Sanders was, and it doesn't need to be misrepresented. All this stuff. But I'm a truthful person, and I have a lot of integrity and honor in this crap. And that could be of value to them. If they want a Colonel Sanders, I'm a real Colonel Sanders. Blood and all, genetics. It's a no-brainer. Hire me to do it. But yes, Burrito, that's why I say howdy folks, I'm Colonel Sanders and you're not. It's because I know it strikes a nerve with these impersonators when they're watching. You're not Colonel Sanders, and you never will be Colonel Sanders unless you legally change your name. But you're never going to have his blood in you. And as a Christian, I say I hope I see them all in heaven, but I don't want to see him again in person. Because if they made it to heaven, they did something right and made good. I'm here at the Swan. What am I supposed to do? So we ranted on for about an hour on that. But that's how passionate I am on it. That's one of the things that, other than the ads, that has driven me to do what I'm doing, because I don't want people to look at these guys and remember them. They already have some memes of them. They already have some news articles of them. They've been featured in several things. I don't want them remembered for my family legacy. They have nothing to do with it other than wanting to dress up and act like they're something that they're not. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. Boo! I can follow this one. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's embarrassing to have those people held up high as the colonel, and for the brand to even officially endorse them. But you know, if they endorsed me and have me represent the legacy, then that's a win over all these other guys. That's why I said it is a disease. What happened is a disease with these guys. They start off as generally just wanting to make people smile, and then they start to let it consume them. They start becoming Colonel Sanders, but they're not. But that's what I get to do. We still haven't found the bucket, by the way. That's why it used to really upset me when I got hate comments about letting go of my family legacy and starting something different or whatever, chasing coattails, because I've seen what chasing coattails is, and I'm just trying to make things right. Oh, that's lovely. Not sure what I'm supposed to do here. We already did that. We got one of those there. It won't let me over. We got the garage door open. Oh, I'm looking for the KFC buckets, but the goal of the game is to beat Eddie. See, that's where I am. There's a switch right there. Hmm. How does one get inside? There we go. Sometimes you just gotta look for the little key points. Now, what was the point of coming in here? See, right in there, there's that thing for Jurassic Park. be a way to get inside of here. There's a changing room. That lets me in. I've already connected that to open that. How do you open the gate? Oh. I'm just stupid. Literally sitting here for hours trying to figure this one out. Alright. Look for that bucket. I think I found the bucket. Found the KFC bucket. His last meal before he burned. Got it. Big boy again. That's a different big boy. We already went through the history of Big Boy in one of the last episodes, so we even made it a short. It's connected to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Alright, so where's the swan? I just watched him murder her. Yeah, there's 42. There's more. The key. All right. Get me out of here. Got the KFC bucket. That's all I care about. So yeah, I have fascination with Uncle Harley and the family business and legacy and stuff that he left behind. And you know, things like this I'm interested in picking out, but that's because it's my namesake, it's my blood, it's my family history. So, and I'm excited to see anybody excited about that themselves, inspired by it or wanting to be involved in it in some way. I'm excited for that. I really am. But these impersonators that I just described are too much. Too much. Looks like Darth Vader. We'll try one more. Find the bucket. Last time the bucket was in here, surely they won't put it in the same spot. And that is correct, they did not. Flame. Horrible shot. Yeah, Darth Jar Jar is coming to Fortnite, matter of fact. Excited for that. I need He-Man. I shall have them. We will find every KFC bucket in this game. It's a coin. And what does this do? Okay. Okay then. Keep your eyes peeled for that bucket. If I miss it, let me know. Another coin machine. Got it. Got the bucket. What could be in here that wanted me in the flower shop? Oh, a coin! Another one. Okay. There's a bunch of them. We will make Sandfudge great again. This is the best village. Yes, I got the bucket now. I think I'm going to come back to this game with Uncle Harley to get all the unlocks. As Uncle Harley. I think I survived the attack. Oh wow. This same setup is on a game called High on Life. That little red guy. Yeah, I love High on Life. I wish I started streaming it or recording it for you guys to see my reaction on it, but it's been so fun. I haven't recorded a single bit of it, but it's one of the first games I played in a while without having to record that I'm having fun at. Okay. I think I gotta get through that camera somehow. I like these puzzles though that you gotta do. Unlock all that, and then you flip this switch, and boom, you're in. You know there's gonna be a little guy here somewhere. This is set up a lot like the VR Pavlov check from those levels. Remember fighting zombies or hiding from the monster in backyards like this. Foxo. There's 42 foxes as well, by the way. We did not reach the live goal as intended, but that's okay. We just won't do another live tonight. We were going to do Fortnite tonight or any game that you guys chose if we reach the goal. I will give you guys till the end of the live for it to be met still. That's 50 of those super chats, $5 or higher, if you want to help out with Feed the Ducks and support the channel while I'm working on growing it. And I will remember you, by the way. It was greatly appreciated, but not required. If we do that, then we'll do another live tonight on whatever game you guys choose. Highest gifter, if you want to play Fortnite, I'll add you on Fortnite. And if you're a member, I automatically add you on Fortnite. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. And I'm dead. Of course I have to go in there to get it. I smell food, so this level will probably be our last one for today. You have to use vinyl. So hopefully you have vinyl to buy your character back. It's like producing it in the factory. Otherwise, you're screwed and you gotta start from the beginning. One of the things I like about this game, though, is if you like lose the level or whatever, or you go on a level looking for a certain unlockable and then just leave, you leave with that. You don't have to finish the whole level in order to get it all. How dare you, sir? Die. So I need a few more. Get me out of here. Got the KFC bucket. We're going to return to factory. How much more is left on this? We have 3 levels before we get Uncle Harley out of the game. 3 more levels. So I beat this one and 2 more. We will unlock Uncle Harley assuming I find all the KFC buckets and all the levels in each one. There's 3 more levels and then the chapters within the levels. Or levels within the levels, however you want to say that. Yeah, so I got 1, 2. I gotta do that one. So 1, 2, 3. I got 3 more here. 3 more buckets of this level, then the next level, do those ones, and then that one, and then we get Uncle Harley. Yeah. Pretty fun and exciting, isn't it? So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we see you in the next one. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss it. I have been primarily streaming this game series in short form. I hate doing that, but I also love it at the same time because all of you get to see it. And it also exposes to more people. And I tried it in landscape mode a couple streams ago, and we had 10 viewers, which is fine, but you get about 90 to 100 viewers collectively throughout the short form live. So I'm trying to stick to the theme for this game. Other games will stream, you know, the